I'm interested in asking you, Daktari,
yes.
How did you manage to balance family, profession, and education?
It's not easy.
Yes, it's family, education,
easy.
And profession.
Yeah, I think, and honestly, this one I'm very grateful to my seniors, right from the IG to the DIGs. The support I got was to be given that space to go to study. So I've done full-time studies for the graduate school, and so when I got these scholarships, and as you see, I've won quite a few scholarships. I have the Ford Foundation International Fellowships Program. I have the PEO International Peace Support Scholarship. The World Bank gave me the Margaret McNamara Education Grant. I have the Dr. James Fife Fellowship from the US. So it's and then the Graduate Center Fellowship. So all this, the police gave me the time to go. I think that is very, very key, that and I'm very grateful to the senior leadership for having given me that. So I have to balance. It was not easy, honestly, but the fact that I was out of service at that time, for those 5 or 7 years I've been out, it was worth doing. It was worth. Yeah.
I'm tempted to read something here. The National Police Service, in a congratulatory statement, described Dr. Resila's academic research work, saying, under the East Africa Standby Force, that is EASF, and the Peace Operations Training Institute, Dr. Resila has carved a niche as a certified and dependable regional facilitator for the Integrated Mission Planning course, a curriculum designed for the military, police, and civilian components. Her academic research work has focused more on comparative criminology and criminal justice, gender issues in policing and peace support operations, crimes against children, and terrorism within East Africa. I'd love to ask you a question. This is huge from the police service. When you focus more on criminal justice and gender issues, what rings a bell in your head?
Yeah, that's a lot, and maybe I pick it up just to put it into context. I am a certified regional facilitator, as it says. The Eastern African Standby Force and the International Peace Support Training Center in Karen, they teach the integrated courses for the military, the police, and civilians. And we that's where I teach, and we do it, of course, under the AU, it's the UN. The framework. So, I'm sorry, what's your question about this?
We talk about criminal justice and gender issues,
Yeah, when I teach at the IAP, the ESF or the IPSTC, I focus on policing and the gender roles within the peace support operations. And so I look at the gender and diversity issues, the matters of crimes against children. When I worked with Interpol, I was in the crimes against children unit, which is within the police department. And so I looked at the sexual abuse and exploitation,
which is quite
of children.
Still rampant.
Yes, especially online. So we did that within the Eastern African region. So I was covering Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Tanzania. We had South Africa, Namibia, Mozambique, and Rwanda. We were looking at the nature, the extent of the prevalence of online child sexual abuse and exploitation, which is something that I must appreciate Kenya, the National Police Service in Kenya has made tremendous, rather significant move in addressing, because Kenya has become the first country to be connected to the Interpol ICSE database. That is the International Child Exploitation Database. And then we have been connected directly to NECMEC, the National Center for Missing Children. It's a clearinghouse in the United States. So we receive the cyber tips directly from NECMEC. To the Directorate of Criminal Investigations here, we have a specialized unit, the Anti-Human Trafficking Child Protection Unit, which handles matters of sexual abuse, particularly online. So this is one area that the police is giving, attention, because it's getting you know, with the exposure to the internet, and the internet penetration in Kenya is very high. Children are on full-time on internet. The exposure is high, the vulnerability is high. So that is where we are.
And this perhaps gives the police service a lot of pressure as well, just to control it. But it's either way, the parents will also play a role.
Yeah, you need also to monitor what children are doing online. A lot is going on online. And that study, for anybody that would like to read it, it's open. It's already published by Interpol. It's on Interpol website. And we did that for this region and part of Asian region. And so it's a very important
Why East Africa, to be specific?
Why East Africa? No, you know, a lot has been done in Europe and in the US. And so it was important that they also we do something in Africa and parts of Asia. And so these were just some of and I don't speak for Interpol. I'm not an Interpol staff anymore. And it's just a starting point. Yes.
And maybe just some context, maybe just to enrich the question on criminal justice and gender. Vis-a-vis what Resila does at the Peace Support College as a trainer or a facilitator. You see, the recipients of those trainings at those two centers in Karen, mostly they are deployed outside the country in peace support, peace operations around the globe. And these areas are areas which rife with conflicts, or they're very vulnerable, or just emerging from conflict areas, and they have broken criminal justice systems. So based on that, the UN and maybe the other international players, they have to move in to stabilize, and that's using the peace, the law enforcement and the militaries in terms of, giving basic security structures. And because of that, you know, by virtue of how those places are, without any government and proper systems of security, taking their officers, we believe that there should be a very strong component, of gender, of some kind of gender balance. So we like taking their female officers because we know the role the female officers will do in those kind of areas in building trust again. Because these are women, the way she just mentioned issues of gender-based violence against the women. You see where there's conflict. People who really suffer are the female, are the women, and the children. So we believe as we are taking their officers to establish law and order, a good chunk of them must be female, who will now try to work with the women, the children, build trust and establish, that kind of confidence in those structures of governance. So I'm just trying to enrich, the question around criminal justice.
So it means that Kenya plays a very pivotal role in peacekeeping.
A big one, exactly one, is a very big major role in peacekeeping operation around the whole globe. Even if you go to Europe, you'll find we have our footprint right from Eastern Europe. Anyway, name it, Kenya must be involved somewhere. And even right from the UN headquarters operations in plannings and all those kind of issues.
Does this give us a niche in the market, in the service globally, in terms of keeping at par with our peers and our brothers and sisters across the globe? Because when you talk of giving expertise to other countries, we have got others serving in the AU, AMISOM, and what have you.
Definitely. And that's why they keep it for just for now. Okay, this maybe even before I talk about police, look at Kenya itself. Where is Kenya right now? In the UN Security Council. You know what that means?
We are a member.
It's a really big thing, globally. That just shows Kenya's leadership in the way Kenya is perceived and respected around the world in terms of security. Then come down, as we're talking right now, 2 or 3 months ago, our Inspector General of Kenya was appointed unanimously as the president of the AFRIPOL General Assembly. That's now the continental body, bring all the law enforcement around.
That's a huge mantle.
That's Africa, It's big, it's really big. So right now Kenya is enjoying again that for 2 years. As we were talking again a month ago, our DCI, Director of Criminalization, was elected on the governing again body of Interpol, globally. As a delegate for Africa, a very big thing. We have a Kenyan, Mr. Kimilu. He's the one coordinating, where Resila was.
The Regional Bureau.
The Regional Bureau for Interpol, based in Nairobi. The Executive Director is a Kenyan. but these are around 14 countries for the region.
So there's something we need to be proud of.
There's so many other small things. And there's no initiative globally on security or law enforcement that Kenya will not be represented or its input is not sought. Yes.
So we have a say.
So we have a say. Wherever there's something happening, it just shows, how we perceived outside there. It's so sad, that back home, people have some misgivings about us.
The good book says that.
Globally, when we go out there, we are hot cake.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Just Kenya. Right from UN, headquarters itself. Kenya goes there, is highly respected.
Yeah, the good book says that a prophet was never recognized at home.
All right. So sad.
So sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing new under the sun either way. All right, let's take a break once again. We're just getting started. I'm getting to learn more that, as a nation, we have got a lot of stake in terms of global security as far as that is concerned. We're taking a break. When we come back, we're still having this discussion after this particular break. Stay around. All right, thank you so much for still staying with us. I have got 3 questions here, and question number 1, this is for you, Daktari. Kenyan police have been accused of corruption, being at the center stage, used as a muscle by boys, by politicians, etc. What do you talk about that in terms of corruption? This for all of you.
For all of us?
Yes.
The country as we are, the government is making efforts, and police in particular, not to condone corruption. And so we have, of course, measures in place, like the EFCC is there. The police takes, if you're found in corruption, there is no police officer that is protected. You just go to court, and the law takes its way. And so it is, we do not condone that in the police service. At the same time, it is one thing we cannot run away from and say it does not exist in 1 or 2 cases.
Yes.
But when it happens, the law takes its course. Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I'll say that the police, they are part of the community and society, and they're as good as society, or as bad or as evil as the society they come from. So from where we sit as police, we acknowledge that we have issues, infractions, issues of corruption, which is not syndicated. It's not institutionalist. Some few bad elements, some few bad apples in another good barrel.
Yes.
Our barrel of policing is really good. We have policies in place. We have strategies. We have even the laws that guide what we do, and we have clear standards on our expectations, right from even the oath of service that we take. So there's no excuse for police officers being corrupt.
Yeah.
But again, they say in corruption, it takes two to tango. So as we cast aspersion, or as we accuse the police, of course we know some of them do some bad things. We take action promptly, as the way the Dr. said. Others who believe their perceptions, which are generalized, that because one is bad, so the rest are bad. But we know and we understand, because police is the only feasible face of government, and again the feasible face of society. So seeing an officer on the road taking a small bribe, everybody will see that, and it looks really awful, so bad. But they mean that those two victims like you, in an office, a civilian in an office, taking a big bribe, is a good thing. It's just that nobody knows about it. So we're saying that it's just a representation of the society. If a policeman takes a bribe, believe me or not, 10 other Kenyans, in whichever space they are in,
are also taking the same.
They are taking that, or even worse. The only difference is that nobody's seeing that. But then again, with the police, again, by virtue of the powers we are given and the responsibility, so much is expected out of us. So we have
a lot of focus is on you.
Focus is on us, and not just even focus itself under those pressures, but even ourselves. I mean, we must stand on a higher, a moral ground. Like Caesar's wife, because so much is given to us by the people. They expect so much from us, the way you are rightly saying, and we have to satisfy that.
Okay.
So as police, from where we sit, we have no excuse of getting involved in corruption or other malpractices. We have just to live by our oath of service, our training, and all the other exhortations from our seniors, leaderships, and the like.
Okay.
But equally again,
yes,
let the public again re-examine themselves and tell us if they are that clean.
All right.
Thank you.
The second question here is that how can the police be reformed, especially to be more service-oriented, like British and American police services? This you've talked about, and you talked that Kenya, we at a higher pedestal as compared to our peers globally. So perhaps this question is just, are we at the same page with our colleagues out there?
Yeah, those might be again other perceptions.
Right.
Yeah, I know when we sit over here, we believe anything from the West is best, including KFC chips. Their potato is better than our potato. You know, I mean, those are to me, those are just perceptions.
Exactly.
But at times again, you see the problem with Kenya, we don't really invest in research, and we shall challenge Dr. here to lead, other scholars. You see, we have to take so much time so that we can research our institution and see, so that we can see our baseline. We just like talking, but without knowing what our baseline is. And if we try to invest in that, we might even discover that we are much further. Like, she's just given some very basic statistics on how Kenya female, Kenya police in female is doing globally.
14-15%.
Comparatively to 5% of those major countries. She's lived in the US maybe for, she lived for more than maybe 10 years or thereabouts.
7 years.
7 years. And she'll tell you the ugly side of the policing over there. She will. I've been there like for 3 thereabouts years. Okay, these are all countries, all democracies. They have systems which are in place, the institutions. By that I mean that there are no malpractices or these bad elements. Stuff happen over there. Having said that, the questions are on reforms. We are right now, as Kenya National Police Service, we are right now on that reform trajectory. We're trying, working so hard, putting systems in place, mechanisms in place to see how we can bridge this gap through initiatives. Just first of all, we have that philosophies in place, so we are trying to tweak around with the philosophies. And last time I was here, I shared with you some of them.
Exactly.
And I challenged even to call some of these officers to come over here and talk to them, see the amazing work they are doing there. We are putting in place, clear initiatives where we want to see how we can work together with the public. And I give just some few examples last time. I spoke about Nakuru with the soccer. I spoke about Kisi with, those other partnerships. I spoke about, community policing like in Machakos. And so many other places, around the country. There are small initiatives coming up, and we encourage them to come up. Of course, there are all the issues of resources. But as we do that again, we want now the public to reach out to us and give us that benefit of doubt, try to reach us to us and talk to us, and even maybe put in their input, not just to categorize and bastardize and throw the kid with the bathwater.
Exactly. Dr. You know what happens is that most people think that the gender parity and the gender, the gender balance that we are experiencing in the police force right now. How would you tell the young ladies aspiring to be like you, who are in the force, in the service right now, or who are still contemplating to join the service, because recruitment will happen soon?
That's a very good question. Honestly, the girl child, I would tell that girl child in any part of this country who has the passion to join the police. The police in this country has room for the growth of you as a police officer, not just as a female officer, but now we are focusing on gender. And gender doesn't mean just women, of course. So, but let me be a little bit focused on the girl child. They should. I encourage as many to join. They can pursue their lines. As I said at the beginning of the conversation, they can pursue their career here. The career is really, really diverse. The support is there. And the ones who are here, my fellow ladies in uniform, is that, the training is the same.
The curriculum is the same.
The curriculum is the same. So when we pass out, we don't pass out as policemen and policewomen. We are police officers.
Yeah.
Yes. So
and you take the same oath.
we take the same oath, and so I just encourage them that the line they take, let people know their line. Which is your line? The job is so wide. There's so many opportunities. Just take your line, pursue your line. I've taken my line, I've pursued it. It has been clear that we can do it as female officers, and so the room is there, and encourage them just to not be that even if it comes to promotion, I get promoted because I'm a woman. I'm never in that school. No, that is not my school. No, we have to compete fairly.
Yeah. And when you talk of promotion, the issue of promotion in the police service has been a very thorny issue. Some say that they've been promoted for so many years. Perhaps the measures that we may not be aware of, some of the measures that the service is taking to ensure that everybody, based on merit, is promoted and to reach that, that rank that they deserve. What's happening behind the scenes, perhaps, if you can share?
Yeah, you see, promotion is guided by policy. And there is a very clear policy. It stipulates, exactly for each position, the basic, the minimum requirements. And then beyond that, there are other issues of discipline, blah, blah, blah. But you see, you can't just promote everybody. First of all, you get a job, and then you try to work upwards. But then there's an issue of expectations. You see, as an employee, you have expectations. You feel you are due for promotion to maybe the next level. But again, the employer, they have the expectations again.
Yes.
Over you.
To perform.
So that balance again can become a bit tricky.
Yeah.
And get lost somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, but all I can say is that there's a very robust policy in place, which is followed to the letter. And police promotions are some of those the most open forms of promotion I've ever seen. I don't know how you guys are promoted, because maybe I believe in the private sector or other sectors, somebody maybe in the corner office will decide who to promote.
Yes.
And then you get your letter. But for us, there'll be an open announcement that the stipulation will be published. People will be, will come forward, and then you go through a process which is open. And the filings is there. If you want to check my promotions up to from the first one, you'll get those files that you can go and audit them. So I believe those are some good measures of openness. But all I can say is that just to encourage officers. Like yesterday, a very funny, maybe I can just share an example. Yesterday, I just opened my phone, WhatsApp, I saw a message from somebody who's listed in my WhatsApp group. So he just say, hi, I'm so-and-so, police constable. He didn't say where he works, but he gave me his name and his number, and told me, there's something that's been disturbing me, I'm at a breaking point, it's all about promotion, blah, 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 blah. And then, he didn't ask for promotion. He just said, I want somebody who can talk to me and advise me. So I took a deep breath. I was so busy, I left what I was doing, and then I started, chatting the boy. He was a boy, a man, yes. So those issues are there, but all I can do is to advise officers. To me, what I believe in, and that's how I've come up. I've never focused on promotions. I've focused on service delivery. Service delivery.
Good.
And what makes me happy when I go home is that today I had a fruitful day, in office, and I did the best I can. I eat my lunch at my desk, and some people I tell them, no, I eat my lunch at my desk because I can't stand somebody having come over lunch time with a problem, a member of the public, to see me, and I've gone for lunch. But I tell them, I attend to you as I eat my lunch, if you would mind. So tell me, and I'm eating. So when I go home and I've done the best for that particular day, that's my focus. Because to me, I say, if God has given me life and He gave me a job, let me just do whichever level He's given me. Other things will just follow. Just do your best and be content with what you have at that particular moment, and you'll be surprised. That promotion will just come. They'll just follow. But when you focus on the promotions, you'll miss something on the service delivery.
That perhaps would have propelled you to that promotion. Exactly. So
don't really get fixated in a particular direction. That what you are looking for maybe is not in that. Even you might get that promotion, but it won't make you happy. But you can just do your job and be very happy. and then somehow you are rewarded in some other ways. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, Dr. when you talk about terrorism in East Africa, it's quite prevalent, and it's a global threat. Yeah. You know, terrorism, and each and every country is experiencing terrorism in any form. But Kenya, we've had our fair share. And in terms of your research and study, what do you think we can do as a nation to just control terrorism to a bare minimum, if possible?
There may never be one straight answer to that question. Yeah, because terrorism is not, as you put it, it's not just a problem in Kenya. It's a global issue. Many countries are putting in counter-terrorism measures to and address countering violent extremism. And the National Police Service is no exception. We, I believe, the last 5 years or so, we've done quite well. And I believe the situation has been relatively calm because we have the anti-terrorist police unit. They are doing their work. Yeah. All the police officers remain vigilant, but it is not one of those criminal or crime issues that you can just have a straight answer to and say, oh, we do this, we sort it out overnight. In developed countries would have already sorted it out. But
so Kenya, we are doing pretty well too.
We are doing quite well.
We're doing really well, and the Secretary just said, terrorism is a very complicated, and very dynamic kind of a field.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it requires so many approaches. For us police, we try to approach it from the law enforcement, which is a very small area, you see. But for you to tackle terrorism, holistically, wholesomely, we have to go back to, first of all, we do deep root analysis, and then we work from the baseline. And that means what? It means focus and investment in this socio-political issues, first of all. Because, when you look at terrorism in isolation and look at the motivations, but we have to look again at the feeding ground. Yes. You see? Yes. There are just normal people like me and you. Yeah. Yeah? Who are taken advantage of by those people, the other, maybe the actors of, the terror actors. They don't do it themselves. They'll have to look for me to recruit. Where do they recruit from? Just me and you and our boys, our girls. So, and these boys, when you drill down, and then I'm talking about the root cause analysis, you'll find that their issues, maybe they're jobless, they'll go to maybe this informal settlement, that's why they get this kind of promises of promises of these small things, and then they brainwash them. And so let's try to work from there, first of all, and those are policy issues, which are outside the ambit of law enforcement. We deal with the political and socio-economic issues, first of all, and that's why you'll find that when you come to the strategy, the overarching strategy of NCTC, there's a huge component on countering of violent extremism. That's not really law enforcement. That's basically working with the group and the normal, the normal society. Yes. Yeah, down there, we invest in the youth, we invest in those vulnerable groups, and do the right things for them so that they can really get their bearings right, Yes. Yeah. So that one, first of all, you cut that, that link of recruitment. Then, once you do that, then the rest, or most of the rest now, it can be a law enforcement issue now, as police and our actors. And when it comes to police and our actors, other actors, or our partners, we have to invest, apart from now hardening the security, like border security, there's those screenings and those kind of stuff. We have also to do so much, and that's globally, on intelligence. Yes. Intelligence and intelligence.
I would like to ask you this question, Daktari. You are the first female officer in 115 years to earn a PhD. Are you feeling threatened that somebody might come and take away the title?
How do you take out history once it's written? In this country, once in this country, the first president of this country was black. We know that. It was President Kenyatta. Yes, you cannot change that history. It's what it is, right? It is what it is. Yes. So this one, it's my joy actually is that. Let me tell you one thing. PhD is not for everybody.
It's not.
Many
people fail along the way.
Yes, it's not for the faint-hearted.
Exactly.
There's a lot more that goes in there, and by the time you reach your third year, I did 5 years, and that is really minimum in the US. My classmates, some of them went to 8 years. So it is not one of those things I would say, I now want all police women to have PhD. No.
Yes. You have to be intentional about it.
And a PhD for what? What do you want to do with it? Because you are good enough with a master degree, but then you go to that side, decide where you want to do it.
Yes.
And so I'm not threatened. It is my joy when I'll see other officers, not just women, all colleagues who are interested, and I'm available. Usually, even now, some of them, they speak with me. Remember, I've had this for 3 years since I graduated. So I'm always very happy for officers that reach out to me and tell me they are studying, maybe they're doing their master or undergraduate, and they need help. And I even do that with students from other universities who look at me as, you can mentor me in this. So that is the best thing you can do. You mentor others. Yes. Yeah, so no threat to me at all.
Okay. It went way back in your village. Do they call you Daktari? Officer. Or sister. There are those names, back in the village.
Home, you are just who you are. Those ones they call you when you are a kid.
Okay. Yeah. And perhaps as a closing remark, we are in a situation where the world is advancing and education is key. Talk to that person out there, not a police officer, anybody who is pursuing education, because without education, there's nothing left.
I would tell the girls, the little ones, education is good. It is good. It's a platform that brings you to meet and connect and relate with people that social class would not allow you probably to interact with. So that is one advantage of it. It's important to have it. But at the end of the day, we appreciate also that the government has that free education. So me, I just encourage that all parents should let kids go to school, because education in primary is free, high school is quite affordable. They let the kids go to school, those ones who join the service, and I encourage they come because they're interested in the police service. Let them not come because they don't have a job.
Because that's what they want to do.
They should be interested in the police service, and then we serve the nation for good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Director, in just 1 minute, so the police, your office produced the first issue of the police newsletter. Perhaps, Director, if you can just give us that copy, the first police newsletter ever, if you have it. Yeah, there we have it. National Police Service newsletter. There you go. You can scroll it down. It goes to, this is the first issue of the police newsletter ever.
The first one ever, yeah.
What does it entail? How does it make you feel that, in your tenure, this is being achieved?
Yeah, I feel good about it. Something I've never shared. Something I've never shared maybe with you is that, apart from my normal police duties, I know how to manage projects. Yes, I'm a project manager by training, although not certified. So I just like coming up with initiatives. That I can align and support the vision of the organization and the Inspector General, and of course of my office. And for me, I have to communicate and communicate effectively. And there are so many other mediums I'm using to do that. But then I feel that there's so much happening from within in terms of strategy, strategic issues and policy. And they're not well captured and not well communicated outside. So I say that within some of them maybe I'll try to pull them out there, but somehow they get lost again. They fizzle out. So I was like, within a quarter, let me start with a quarter. Every quarter, those are 4 quarters in a year. Where can I be sitting down at the end of every quarter? I condense those key issues, not all. You can't actually, police is so huge. But I can pick on some few relevant policy, strategic level issues that can communicate effectively the vision and the strategy of the Inspector General in that small,
Okay.
So that's how I came up with that initiative. And we say, okay, let's pilot this first one. And I'm glad that it's well received. And I'm glad that actually you saw it. And you bring it up here.
Exactly.
And we hope to build on it and do much more better.
All right.
In the next issues.
Because today I'm dealing with disciplined forces, allow me to say that because of time, we have to stop it there. We have to be disciplined, either way. All right, thank you so much. We've been speaking to police spokesperson Shioso Bruno, who is also been a guest here in studio. Thank you so much for joining us, as well as Dr. Resila Onyago, all right, who is a PhD holder. Did I just come back to my PhD holder? All right. The first female PhD holder in Kenya, the first female to put it into perspective. Thank you so much for joining us, and even speaking to the younger generation out there, inspiring them to become who they are. All right. And you as a viewer, we thank you for your valid company. We are taking a break. We are not yet done. Jane will be back with more. We'll be right back.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And say hi to the IG. Please, Mwambia akuje. We need to have a conversation.
Come.
All right.
Yeah, but even I'm here.
Yes.
He's here.
He's represented.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fully.
All right.
Asante.
Asante.
Yeah.